Hello, everyone. This is Teri and this is Alison. We are the Sky Whisperers, and today in our episode, one of the other episodes of our Astrology and Beyond interview series, we have a very esteemed astrologer with us that is hailing all the way from, actually, originally from Croatia, but she is now in Canada. Actually, she was born in Canada, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay.
And her, I mean, like in Croatia, they call her Jasmina Brozovic, and then for the English speaking is Jasmina Brozovic. So welcome, Jasmina.
Well, thank you, Terry, for this lovely introduction. I love it. Yes, as a Gemini person, I do embrace both of my identities and both of my names. I really appreciate you having me here today. I love the name of your podcast, The Sky Whisperer, is such a beautiful name, and I'm so happy
Thank
that you
you.
guys doing this in connecting other people and giving space to other astrologers as well. So I really appreciate it. Thank you for having me.
Thank
So I haven't met you before, and I'm really interested to find out a bit more about you because I know you've got like loads of followers on Instagram and you do loads of stuff, and you're really into just kind of networking. We were just talking about that and how Mercury is such a strong kind of a strong factor in your chart, ruling both the ascendant. And then you have Mercury in Gemini, you were telling us, just conjunct the moon and the sun in Gemini as well. So a balsamic moon in Gemini with Mercury sort of in the middle of them, or and I just feel that's amazing. So all this talking, all this like curiosity, this must be a real factor in your life. Is that what you found?
Absolutely. Thank you, Alison. Yes, I'm a true mercurial person in that sense. I love learning, reading, knowing things. I'm very, very curious, but it's not just curiosity, it's about sharing the knowledge, right? So I definitely want to, if I find something interesting, oh, I want everybody to know. Or if I meet somebody interesting, I want everybody to know about that person as well. So definitely that's part of who I am. Conveying the message. I'm more of an oral, like more of a talker than a writer. I do engage in writing, but my Virgo rising is it's making it very like a to-do list. So my writing is like,
Yes.
this is the data, and you have it, and then what you do with it. I'm not gonna write poems or something like deep, profound. I'm going to give you the dates. Like, this is what's happening. I'm like a factual, very practical person. This is my approach in life. So even when I, talk to clients or people or in general, I like to this is the information I have. This is where I got it from, and it's up to you to how you're going to use it. That's kind of the way I operate. I do really think that knowledge is something that people should not keep for themselves. I really think it's important that we share it, because this is how we build on it together, brainstorming, exchanging ideas, exchanging thoughts. It's such a blessing. It's for humans to evolve. I think that's the blessing in it. If you hold it for yourself, what's the point? I think it's not nice, at least. So, yeah, meeting new people, networking, community, it's very important. Always been, friendships. But I do,
Yes.
to be honest, love my alone time. I feel that my alone time, I need to recharge and to gather my thoughts. Otherwise, I
Okay.
can be just scattered. So
Yeah.
I do love me time to find some clarity in all of that buzz out there.
Yeah, and that's really typical of people with a lot of Mercury in their chart, isn't it? And you find it with Virgo and you find it with Gemini, but that they do absolutely have to just go back into themselves, into that sort of space, and just to consolidate things, I think, as
Yeah,
well. But what
yeah,
you've been describing to me is very much, the idea of Mercury as the herald, the messenger of Zeus and the storyteller and I really love that idea. And Mercury very much the journalist who's saying, okay, this is what I've discovered. I've been digging and this is the stuff I've discovered. And it's out there and this is for everybody. And I really like that. So I really appreciate that's your role in life,
yeah.
as it were. That's great.
Yeah, maybe because it's conjunct the moon, I kind of
Yes.
feel it that I need to do it. Like, it's like a
Yes.
need, and I think I always say that the worst thing you can do to a Gemini moon, especially, but all the strong Gemini people, is if you don't listen to them. we find it very hurtful,
Wow.
not our voice not to be heard. So I really appreciate it, and I'm thankful for everybody who actually listens because
Yeah.
thank you. It means a lot, you know.
Okay.
Yeah, that I can understand. What I wonder about astrology and accountancy. How do they go?
Yes.
I can understand how it goes because I'm an ex-banker and I'm an economist by
Yes.
education. But how does it? Because you have a master's in accountancy. I don't know
Yes.
if you are doing it as your full-time job as well, but how do they connect each other in that sense?
Yeah, so now I'm part-time doing accounting, part-time astrology.
Hmm.
The connection is about pattern recognition. And you also in
Oh,
accountancy, you also have a patterns, right? You have cycles, you have deadlines, you have every month, you have the same thing every year, same thing. So it's kind of, there's repetition. And, what I like is, there's such a chaos outside of the world. Like there's no, no,
yeah.
it's so, you don't know what's going to happen. Like it's a lot of things in accountancy, that you need to balance. Credit needs to be the debit, and that's it. So that's it. It's checkpoints. And my Virgo realized that only one thing in my life that has needs to balance. If everything else doesn't, that and just finding the mistake. Something is off balance. Oh, so that's something that for my mind, it's really good. The same thing is with astrology. If look at this placement, then you go and then how this works and this person. So it's always keeping me busy. Astrology is such a amazing, I don't know, tool, practice. I don't know how to call astrology. It has a special place in my life. I don't even know. I don't want to label it because I don't know how to label astrology. And for me, it's a blend of science and much of and art and there's so many things involved. So I don't know, but it has that fulfilling thing that I can never satisfy my curiosity with astrology because there's so many things. Even if I live
Yeah.
10 lives, I'm not going to learn everything and know everything. So this is like a long life, interesting thing that I can dig in and research and find. Every new chart is like, wow, a
Yes.
new thing, right? It's a
Sure.
exploration. So and every day is a new chart, every hour is a
Yes.
new chart. So like you keep going, and so I'm so happy that astrology found me, that I can be me, because I think for my, as you mentioned, all my mercurial things, all my placements in my chart, astrology is just like how you have a wound and there's something, you put something to heal. Like if you have a burn and you
Mm,
put some
hmm.
ointment on a burn, that's how I feel astrology is for my soul. Like it's soothing
Okay.
all my, all the things that I was curious about or frustrated or didn't understand. Yeah. The only thing I still try to figure out is the beliefs and why people have such strong beliefs that would, they're, that this not understanding other sides, like maybe as a Gemini, I always appreciate, even if I don't agree with you, I can understand, where you're coming from,
Mm.
and I still understand these fixed belief systems that are running the world. I'm still trying to figure that out. But that's for another podcast, maybe.
And of course,
Yeah,
Mercury's got a lot of association with business as well, hasn't it? And transactions and all that kind of thing. So, I mean, it's not
very true.
surprising that that aspect of your life sort of was there as well. I mean, it's hard to begin with astrology, so you need to start
Yeah,
with something else first
yeah.
normally.
But interestingly enough, I'm not such good a seller, to be honest. You
Okay.
would say for a Mercury, I think my Virgo rising and, I just maybe
Yeah.
Venus in Cancer, they're more of a caring. I can't, like, if I don't believe in it, I can't
Hmm.
sell it. I can't say, I just have to, I can't say, oh, this is such a great thing. I never used it, or I just can't. Or
Hmm.
I don't know, maybe just for as a Virgo rising also person, I really have issues with selling myself. But that's also another story. But, I wish I had more mercurial. I don't care, I just say it. But I do care. And I take a lot of
Okay.
things personally. And I, you know what? I pride in it.
Hmm.
Even in my interviews for a job, I always say potential managers, I take things personally, which means I'm going to take this job personally, and even if it's not my company, I'm going to act like it is. And
Hmm.
so far, this has been a plus in my career, let's say. Anyway,
Yeah, yeah, I'm sure I can totally see that. Yes, I mean people want to know that you have personal commitment to something, and yeah, that's great. You're not just sort of interested in it as.
yeah,
So I'm interested in how you kind of discovered astrology and the transition and how that's kind of sort of played
I
out in your life, really. What
yeah,
was
I
that
do feel
story?
Yeah, I do feel that I kind of knew astrology from previous whatever lives, or but I was born with some kind of understanding and knowledge. I feel it because my dad told me I'm a Gemini, but I was 10, 11, something. I didn't know what it
Hmm.
is. But when I started exploring these sun signs, it felt so like, yes, that this is, I was
Mm.
never a skeptic. I never questioned, does this work? Ever,
Right.
ever. It was such
Yeah.
a normal, natural thing. I said, yeah, that's it. I just want to explore it. And then I started exploring things. It was around my, I think, Jupiter return, my first Jupiter return,
Okay. Hmm?
when I really start exploring it. But I lived in Croatia. It was back in the 80s. You didn't have computers, you didn't have internet, you didn't have
Right.
anything. And Croatia, although it was a communist country back then,
Right.
there was a strong Catholic approach. So there's like astrology was a no-no, a big
Right.
no-no, and then you couldn't
Okay.
find books, you couldn't find anything. So a little bit later, there was a magazine started, Astro magazine in the 90s. I was like in my, late, and before high school. It was before high school, I know. So it was like
Hmm.
I was like a sixth, seventh grade anyway. So I would wait each month. I would have my allowance to buy this magazine, and each month I would do something. Fine. It was like, what is your Venus? The next month, what is your Mars? And I would
Hmm.
wait each month, and I was building on for my family and me. So it was kind of romantic in a sense, right? And there was a table how to calculate your ascendant, and you had to
Yeah,
kind of it was fun. So that's how I
absolutely.
started. Then, of course, you're young, you want to have fun. You have Mars in Leo, you want to have fun. Yeah, right. So,
Sure.
and then, but I was always into a little bit of into numerology or anything esoteric. I was
Hmm.
always interested in finding this, and then, found this. I just reading to the book, like there was Celestial Prophecy, I think. There was this book back in the day that
Okay.
was really something, or just looking for some kind of meaning, understanding. And I was always kind of I remember when the internet came, and I went to astro.com and I saw my chart for the first time. I was in my mid-20s or something. I was like,
Okay.
what is this? Like, what does this mean? I have
Wow.
lines. There are lines. I never thought about aspects. Like, what is it? I never even, I was like mind blown. Then I thought it was overwhelming, blah, blah, blah. But then in my 30s, I really started to read more about it. And during the
Uh-huh.
pandemic is then when Steve Judd had his course. And he was my consultant astrologer for a couple of years before. So I started doing his classes, and it was Uranus opposition. Then I really said, you know what? This is it. I want to take this more seriously. This is my passion. I finally kind of came out as an astrologer during my midlife crisis. That's what it is. Yeah.
But
And
what
since
I
then,
wonder,
yeah.
yeah,
Hmm.
since then, yeah, what I wonder that when did you, I mean, when was the first time that you had a astrological consultation and how did it feel for you? I mean, like,
Yeah.
was it like earlier in the life,
Uh,
later in the life, and
Later. So it was
how
it was
was it?
Steve Judd. It was Steve Judd. I was in my
Wow, okay.
30s. Yeah, I was in my 30s. And uh I already I already met my now husband, and we did it together. I called telling
Okay.
Steve, I said, I think this was, I don't know, I didn't know that this is not supposed to do it like that, but he was really nice, and he took us together, and so we had this like a couples counseling every year for a year ahead with him for the first time. And he taught, and we were listening to him. He was talking, we were just listening. That was the first, I was like, wow, like I knew something about astrology, but still to have somebody who knows what they're
Yeah.
talking about to
Hmm.
say it in the
Yes.
words, that was like, wow. Like it was really like, wow, this is magic. Like I thought this is magic. I really think
But you
astrology
It
is
were
kind of
magic.
is.
listening, but you were still like, because you are very curious, like, how, where does this come from? You said that, but how did you find about it?
Yeah, so what
Like,
happened, because yes, I asked you what kind of house system he uses. That's the only question I had.
Oh, wow.
So
wow,
Okay. That's quite
so
advanced.
he said porphyry, and then I took my chart in porphyry, and then I understood. Oh, he's using water rulership, because he says Uranus is my ruler of. I thought it was Saturn my ruler of the sixth, but actually it's Uranus. Anyway, so I
Hmm.
was like
Hmm.
kind of, and then I was looking in my chart, and re-listening what he was saying, looking at my chart, and I was like,
wow.
that's why. That's how I kind of learned.
Well,
And
that's a
yeah,
really good idea.
yeah,
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
thought it was
So at
fun.
that point, were you in Croatia or had you
Yes,
immigrated there to
yeah,
Canada? So when did that happen in your life? What was the,
yeah.
the impetus for that? That's a
Yes,
big
that's a
big
that
shift.
Yeah, that's a good one. So, yeah, I was just born in Canada, but my parents, I was just 3 months old when they took me back to Croatia. So I had the
Okay.
blessing of being a Canadian without living in
Yes.
Canada. So I always wanted to kind of use that advantage that I got by birth, right? So,
Hmm.
you know, to
Hmm.
pass to the ability. But it was just life and this and that. And when I met my husband, he really wanted to go to America or somewhere else. And I said, look, the only thing I can give you is Canada. If you wanna, we can go and try that. He said, okay. So we kind of decided to go to Canada together. It was 2015, so it was like our
Okay.
10th anniversary of Canada
Mm.
life in November. Um, it was Uranus in Aries in my seventh house. So we got married. Just we went to the city hall just with
Yep.
witnesses, like no parents, no wedding. We just let's do this and let's go to Canada. It was kind of a very
Wow.
Uranian moment.
Wow.
Um, um, and yeah, I was ready. Like I was
Mm.
37. And yeah, let's do it. It was a new start, new beginning. We didn't have much money.
Yep.
We had a place to stay just for a couple of months. We started definitely from zero, from scratch.
Yes.
It was interesting. Because when you start something in a more mature phase of your life, like you start
Mhm.
over, you're more conscious about everything. You're more aware, you're more present. In your 20s, at least for my experience, in my 20s, I was doing things I don't even know why, how,
Yes.
what, you know, such a chaos. My 20s were chaotic. I wouldn't go back to my 20s. I love my 40s. I'm very happy in my 40s. I think my 40s gave me the purpose. They gave me
Hmm.
maturity. They gave me the ability to do things, everything that I wanted, stability, just mental presence, uh,
Mm.
everything. Like I maybe it's also learning about Saturn and all this stuff. But I wouldn't go back to 20s. If people say, oh, no, I wouldn't. I love my 40s.
But I've got a couple of questions actually. Sorry, Terry. I'll stop in a minute. But the first one is, does that correlate with the age your parents were when they went from Canada to Croatia, for instance? Because sometimes you find it's the same age. And the second one I've forgotten for a minute, so I'll leave it there.
Yeah, no, my parents went to Canada after they got married. So it was the same kind of, it was the same motivation, let's say.
Hmm.
But they were younger. They were 25, 36. I know my dad had me for his Saturn return. So I'm his Saturn return baby. He also
Okay.
has Saturn Mars conjunction in Leo, not as tight as I do, but it's interesting how you have this family signatures. It's
Definitely.
beautiful. Yeah, so they came, so it was yeah, they came back. So for them it was a little bit different. Although my husband is 10 years younger, so he was the same age as my parents, not me.
Okay, interesting.
Yeah,
He
yeah,
was
Interesting.
coming
yeah.
towards his Saturn return actually, like
Yeah,
when
my husband, yeah.
yeah, you change the countries. Yeah, that's also interesting. That's a milestone as well, in a way. I mean, like it's like your nodal return, his Saturn return. They are all
Yes.
go
Yes.
hand in hand together, and then moving. What do we do? Let's move to Canada.
Yeah, that's right. I was my nodal return. That's right. That is right. Yeah. So it
Yeah.
was fated. I think it was meant to be, and I'm happy that we're here. You know, we
Mm.
build our lives. We are both very independent people, so we like having, you know, we love family, we love friends, but you know, having nobody really on a daily basis because we need freedom. He's also Gemini.
Mhm.
We are very, you know, freedom oriented. You know, we like to make our own decisions in life. So, and of course, without support, you can't do anything. But you know, in general, you know, doing things your own way without having too much interruptions is a good thing for Geminis in general.
Yeah, and if you said that your Uranus was in your seventh house at that time, then it was the whole
Mhm.
thing was about freedom in a
Yeah,
sense, wasn't it? Yeah.
yeah.
Kind of
It was
moving
literally like,
forward.
yeah, and it was us breaking free from families and obligations and the old system and the way
Yeah,
people think. And, you know, we were always kind of like a black sheep of the family, both of us. It's interesting how we met. We both kind of, you know, these people are, you know, they're different.
okay.
So,
Yeah. Wow, that's really
Yeah,
interesting.
that's
Yeah.
interesting. But that astrology, of course, curiosity, etc. How did you decide? I mean, everyone has a story of why they started having a more structured way of studying, because you just got your certificate from the London School of
yes.
Astrology and you are still pursuing. What made you?
Because you know what, this is the subject that I really want to study, because I went to school to a business
Mm,
school, blah, 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 but it was not my passion. So this is, you know, I feel that I'm still divided, to be honest. As a true Gemini, I'm divided of how much do we need to have astrology certified? Do we need to have it very serious? Like,
mhm,
will it lose the magic if we do it too seriously? But on the other hand, if we don't do something, if we don't do the certifications, people are already thinking that we are fortune tellers and blah, 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 which I can't
mm.
even say how I can. Yeah, it just really pisses me off. Oops, sorry, I don't know if I can say that. So
Yeah,
so so there is a
you can.
so there so there is like a so I by like first of all I like to learn, and I like to, so why don't, if I'm learning already, why not, in a sense, from good teachers that I respect,
Mhm,
to build a community of peers, because I like, the sense of meeting people through school, and then why not get certified at the end, right? But I just because of the perception of astrology is still so bad, which I would like it to change and help it change by maybe getting certified as well. It's one of the
mhm.
things. I
Yeah.
don't know. I'm still divided, because will it lose the magic? I don't know. I don't have it all figured out. I'm still figuring things out, to be honest. So
I think it's
Well,
more something that we do more for ourselves. I mean, like at the end of the day, I mean, you are certified, we have diploma. That's true. That's also achievement. That's a milestone, which is very important. You say that, okay, I do at least know something. It's like an ocean, etc. But I am at least, I mean, someone recognizes me for my knowledge. That's
mhm,
really important. I mean, for the public, I don't think so that whether we have certificate or not, or diploma or not, they will continue believing what they are believing. I mean, for the people who say that astrology is
mhm,
real, they will be amazed. Oh, wow, also there's a school and then they got the
mhm.
diploma or certificate. That's great. But for the people who don't believe, I don't think so that it will change anything at the end of the day. But there is the thing for you do for
Yeah,
yourself, because yeah, like I can do it, and someone that we respect at least,
yeah,
because the institutions that we have the certificates or diplomas from are the places that we respect. We believe that they are doing good astrology, so that when they recognize us, we say, okay, we are proud of ourselves, I think.
yeah.
Right.
It's a good point, but it also gives me, I like the feedback. I like, am I at the right point? Like, I want to know if I'm doing
Yeah.
it, kind of checking myself if I'm doing it. Astrology, you can't do it. Yes, you can do it wrong, yes, but there's a lot of, yeah, there's a personal approach, right? Nobody can really put a mark on my personal approach, but they can, at least guide me and give me my guidelines and say, okay, this is what you're doing makes sense in a sense, right? So I like the feedback. I like the constructive criticism even. It took me years to understand how valuable that is. In my
yes.
20s, I didn't. That's what I'm saying. So I love my 40s that I'm actually happy to accept that, and it gives me kind of, I evolve as a person, as an astrologer. I'm a better person, an astrologer, with all these feedbacks. So I like that.
I
Yeah.
always think of it as something like learning the piano, actually. So you kind of go through
Mm.
the grades and you get to like grade 8 or whatever it is, and then you finished. But then a pianist, I'm not a pianist, by the way, sort of said to me, and that's when you start learning to play and working out how you play, and and I always felt that when
Mm.
I read it, if I read a book and think, not sure I agree with that, that's a real milestone actually, because you're not just taking in everything, but you're learning, your understanding of the subject has reached a critical point, if you like, where you're able to actually assess and think, not sure I
Yeah,
agree with how what they're saying there. That doesn't play out for me. And you can only do that once you have a solid foundation. I think that's
absolutely.
what the studying provides. And of course, you don't need to get a diploma to have a solid foundation.
No,
But it's like
no.
learning. I mean, I used to teach English, so it's like learning English. If you don't know the
Hmm.
present tense, it's quite difficult to move on to the past tense, and that's what a good certificate will give you, I think, with some
Yeah.
of the established schools. Yeah.
But Terry is right. We need to celebrate our achievements. And this is a way that somebody, that you kind of get a validation that you know. Otherwise, you're just thinking, am I not? This way you kind of know it. So I think it's a good point. It's not the aim, but it's actually a good aftermath that you get. Actually,
It gives you confidence.
Yeah.
I think.
We forget to celebrate our achievements a lot in life. So
you're probably right. Yeah.
That's true. That's true. Yeah. That also, I mean, like, that's a good point that Alison was saying, like reading a book and then you start, like, if you are at a position that you can argue with the book.
Yes, exactly.
Yes.
Or a post that you see, and then you can say that, okay, that's right. I generally argue a lot with the posts and everything that I saw. So it's like, what the heck? It's like, but I think it's a really good sign that we know what is going on, and we are already not like restricted with the knowledge that we have been given in the place that we studied or the books that we read, etc. And then we are becoming our own person, and that the astrologer, like, Jasmina is an astrologer, and then like Alison is a different one and different.
I love that.
You put your personality.
I love that we all have different interests. I love that we have different approaches. I think that's the beauty of it. I think imagine we were like clones. No, please no. That's why this AI also it's just cloning the words. It doesn't even has the soul of it. Every person puts its own spirit and soul into everything they say about astrology. And I think it's beautiful and I love it. Even if I don't practice some part, like I'm not a traditional astrologist and I don't really understand, maybe I don't know much about it, or maybe I don't understand it, or maybe I have a different approach, but I like to hear it. I like people who think differently from me to challenge my mind so I can so I can stay in check, because otherwise you are, that's why I like different teachers. I like to have different, I like to learn from different people. So just to keep me in check, because otherwise you could get a little bit cocky, let's say, and think, oh, my way is the only way. And it's not. Especially not in astrology. There is every house system works for some reason. Every approach works.
Yes, how is that?
It's because it's magical and it's beautiful.
Yeah, absolutely.
And that's why.
Yeah.
What about the collaboration, if I may step in? Because before we started the interview, I was like, I want to say that Jasmina is the queen of collaboration. Like, what is it? I know that you want to network, communicate, but where does it come from, and where does it take you? Also, I mean, like,
yes.
at the end of the day.
Yeah. So first of all, when I started, I was thinking, okay, how can I even, get into the astrological community unless I approach people. I thought, okay, I have to approach it, like, hi, how are you, this is me, would you like to talk to me? And I started with on Instagram as Instagram lives, and to be honest, I was amazed how astrologers are such a lovely people. Everybody said yes. Like I had in first year, I had no nose. Like later a little bit, but it was so beautiful. I was like, oh my God, this person wants to talk to me, and this person wants to talk to me, and this how I kind of because I wanted to feel it. Because when you read a book or you're in a class, there's a little bit of interaction, but when you talk to somebody, there's such a beautiful thing just to feel them. When they talk, you listen and you can kind of absorb them and their knowledge and it's such even in person is even better. We couldn't do it, so that's why conferences and meeting people in person, that's number one. That's the feeling you cannot beat. But this is the second best thing, talking online, right? Because you can still feel the person, right? And I just started, let's start and see where it takes me. And I didn't have any plan. I'm very, Gemini, just go with sometimes spontaneously and see. And one thing led to another, and then through my peers that I studied with and this and that. And I'm still looking for new people. And what I'm kind of, my secret passion is that I want to, I'm rooting for the underdogs, which means that I like new astrologers give them platform for their voices to be heard. Because yes, we are learning from the masters, but we are the next generations. We are the next ones who are going to be actually, hopefully, masters one day, in the sense that we are going to teach other generations that come after us.
Mm-hmm.
So I think we all need to boost our confidence, and we need a space. I was lucky enough that I actually talked to people who know what they're talking about, because I didn't know. I could have chose somebody, and because I didn't know enough, that
Mm-hmm.
would talk rubbish. I was pretty lucky, I feel, because you never know, because you go to the underdogs, there could be a lot. But I kind of intuitively recognize who is like a pop astrologer who are doing this. I'm not on TikTok. I never been there, because so I'm not that kind of but people who actually study, and they want to say something, and I'm always here for them. Yeah.
Yeah, well, that's great. And do you have room, just out of interest, for anything else in your life? I mean, a Gemini, there must be lots of other things
Absolutely,
going on.
absolutely. So I love to bake and cook. I cook
Okay.
almost every day. I absolutely love home cooked meal. Nothing can beat that. Yeah, I like to go to restaurants and stuff, but cooking your own
Mm-hmm.
stuff. So back in the day, before we came to Canada, because my husband is very also Gemini, entrepreneurial with great ideas. We
Okay.
we we did together, collaborated. He did photography. And I had like another, like a food blog, but there was something called Google Plus back in the day. It was a platform that died. I don't know if you guys
Okay.
remember. It was between Facebook and Instagram, in between. Okay, Instagram was
Mm-hmm.
not there yet, so Google Plus. So I was there. This is also when I did astrology, but also I did a lot of collaborations with food people, foodies.
Okay.
And I was
Interesting.
cooking online with this lady on her channel. And I did a little book. It's only ebook. I have 16 recipes in it, and I made it as a story for kids. So I wanted to incorporate kids into baking. So I
Okay.
made up 16 stories, 16 recipes.
Right.
It's
Oh,
like it's like a train going on each station until it comes to the
That's
cookie
super nice.
factory. Each station is one recipe. There's a little story about it. Anyway, so yeah, you can still find it somewhere on Amazon. It's called Beyond the Cake. That's what it's called.
That
So
sounds
I
lovely, actually.
yeah, so I
Really
used to do
nice.
that. I'm still a passionate. I like to entertain. I like to have people over around food.
Okay.
I just love that, cooking for people, coming in and just watching them eat. I just love that. So everything about regarding food and
Oh, those
socializing
Cancer
together.
planets, the tribe, the
Oh
sort of
yeah,
snuggling down and the nurturing and yeah,
I
definitely.
love it. I love it. So that's my passion. I still, I love reading. I love
Cool.
puzzles, all kind of puzzles, jigsaw puzzles. Me and my kid, thank God, he's also Gemini. We have three Geminis in the house.
Oh, wow.
I know, I know. So I do lots of, find the difference, spot the difference, or we all do. Since he was 2, we start doing that.
Okay,
So we
okay.
are we are obsessed with doing, jigsaw puzzles, this and that, Sudoku, like everything.
Yeah.
That's my, playing cards. Like I
Okay.
love, having even before when I was younger, having a card night with friends. I was, that's my
Hmm.
entertainment. Anyway, so that's my passion. I like to travel.
Hmm.
I like to travel for food reasons. I like to explore cultures through food.
Okay.
Yes.
That's a
So
good way to do it.
absolutely. Wherever I go, first think, what are we eating? What dish is original? Like, we went to Mexico. I wanted to see this lady make tortilla on the street. That's, those kind of things. I
Okay.
want to see hands-on. I want to, because I think through food, without knowing the language, it's a universal language that everybody understands, and you can
Mm,
communicate just by
that's
food.
true.
You know
Yeah.
how, back in the days,
Mhm.
you give somebody a food and they just nod, and then you have this understanding without knowing the
Yes.
language. Another language, Gemini, right? It's another astrology is a language, food is a language, everything is a language for me. So those are some of my passions. Yeah.
Gosh, wow. Okay. Yeah, I really see what you're saying there about the food. That I think that's really lovely. So you said your son was a Gemini as well. Goodness me.
Yeah. Yeah. I gave you birth on my birthday. Actually, we shared a birthday.
Oh my
wow.
goodness.
I know.
Okay.
I know. I
Wow.
know. So 3 Geminis in the house. I mean,
Okay.
it can be a lot, but it's never boring.
No.
It's very interesting. We are always having something fun to do. Yeah. Oh, and I love to dance as well. That's another
Okay.
Marcin Leo thing. I love to dance. It's how I
So in
met my
fact,
husband.
pretty much
Yeah.
everything actually is like
This is no, I'm not a scientific
okay.
research kind of a
Okay,
person. So
sure.
yeah, I'm not that. Like, I'm not gonna dig deep into some scientific and just no, I'm not in that sense.
Fair
Uh,
enough.
no. So, there's a lack of discipline sometimes that I had to learn by myself because I can get
Mm,
scattered. And because you want to have fun, sometimes you need to do stuff that are not fun. So,
yeah,
it's not
sure.
that, you love everything, but I try to
But
find something.
what kind of dance then you
Oh,
like doing?
yes. Yeah. So,
That's a culture also. That's part of the cultures. At the end of the day, knowing cultures, food, dance. Yeah,
yes,
no,
I used to do a creation like a folklore dance when I was a kid.
folklore.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
But in my 30s, so yeah, this is also not a secret. So I went through a divorce, also in my 20s. So, and in my 30s, when I was single, after I recovered, I was thought, what can I do to lighten up myself? I said it was very popular back in 2000 something, that there was
Hmm.
a Dancing with the Stars everywhere. So I was there, even in Croatia, everything was popular. Everybody wanted to learn how to dance. So I just enrolled the school, like it's a ballroom dancing school. So I enrolled, and my husband was a teacher there. And that's how we met. So there's that romantic. It was really nice. I mean, he was really tough. Trust me. It wasn't, yeah, he wanted to make us he wanted to teach us properly how to do it. And we just wanted
Oh
to have fun.
gosh.
But we also created a group there, and we even when the course was over, we kind of did it. The school made an exception for our group to continue doing it, and we had like for 3 more years. We
Oh
met
my God.
I know. So that was another thing that was beautiful. There was like a dances every Saturday and Sunday. We would go and dance. Like it was disco. But we learned about waltz. We learned about tango. We learned a bunch of other
Mm.
stuff as well. But it was such a fun salsa, but all this stuff really fun.
Wow, wow.
So
It
have you
seems.
taken that to Canada with you? Have you started anything there? And
And no, we kind of it's changed here a little bit. We are still kind of dancing around the house when we have an opportunity, but it just the momentum it just was not
yeah,
there anymore.
moved
So it
on.
kind of
Hmm.
yeah, and yeah. So and I started doing I think astrology was number one thing in Canada. And it's just first settling down, meeting different people, cultures, food as well.
Mm.
That was the first part, and then astrology. Yeah.
Maybe
Have you
one day
sorry.
they do this thing for the Strictly Come Dancing with the astrologers matching with the thing all around the world. That can be something instead of
We
the celebrities like
I
that. It can be
know
astrologer
astrologers.
dancing.
We
Yeah,
can have
yeah.
astrologers go dancing, dancing with the astrologer. That would be fun. I love
It
that.
would be fun. You could see which which sun sign is the best, which rising sign is that has got,
Yeah,
got the natural rhythm kind of thing. That would be
Yeah,
fun.
yeah.
that is right.
So I'm interested in this balance between Croatia and Canada, and I just wondered if you'd looked at your astrocartography with that, the one that looks at
Yes.
where you kind what where you should be in the world.
Yes. There is a lot of things. First of all, here where I'm now, it's my ascendant line, and because I have a north node close to ascendant, so it's a north node
Okay.
and ascendant. So I think I was meant to come back one way or
Hmm.
another. I just felt that it was part of my story. Croatia doesn't have a special line, to be honest, interesting, but my relocated chart is a little bit different. I'm a Sag rising there. So I had a lot of fun. Like I wasn't serious. Like, I had to come back here to get my life in order because I was just
Hmm.
all over the place there. What I'm trying to see, because we are trying to move, I moved 18 times, Sag IC.
Oh,
18 times
wow.
in my life. We're still not settled, so we are still planning to move next year or next couple of years. And actually, I'm curious about Halifax. It's in Nova Scotia, it's a different province in Canada, because it's on there. I have Jupiter and Venus on my midheaven,
Oh,
Wow,
wow.
wow.
but Pluto is on my ascendant there exactly.
Hmm.
Because I have this square, Pluto Venus square anyway. So everywhere
Okay.
I go, I'm going to take it with me. So my
Yes.
Jupiter Venus is always going to have this square with Pluto. I can't escape it from, it's,
Yeah.
Sure.
but maybe it could be a fun thing to see. I don't know. We'll see how even my husband is closer to his Jupiter line there.
Hmm.
So he has this unfortunate thing that his Jupiter goes through the Atlantic Ocean.
Oh, so does mine. It's really annoying. Yeah.
I know. So yeah, but still it's closer there, so maybe I don't know. But it's interesting. So that's another thing. But here where I am, the interesting part, the best uh, place in the world for both of us and our relationships and I didn't look at my son, but for two of us, is Winnipeg in Canada. And that is like the most
Wow.
boring place in Canada. Like if anybody says like you want to like die, it's Winnipeg. So we are not considering that, but it's like
I
kind of
do
the
feel
best.
that if you three turned up there, it might not be quite so boring.
Maybe, I don't know, but it's like really like there's like
Maybe
nothing to do.
your mission is to bring fun to the place.
Maybe. Yeah, so we're still not there yet. Maybe we'll see later. But it's interesting because Winnipeg, and it goes down through Colorado and Utah and stuff.
Okay.
So the company I work part-time for, they actually they have the headquarters. It's a Canadian company, but they have sales and everybody's in Colorado. So sometimes and it's the best company I've worked for in my whole life, knock on wood. That's why I'm still there. That's why I still didn't 100% commit, because I kind of love the culture and my boss and everything. And she's also from Saskatchewan, which is also on my line near Winnipeg there. So it's interesting how my boss, although I'm not there physically, but my boss and the company is there, and I'm such
Okay.
a great place to work.
That's
So
interesting.
you don't have to actually physically move, but if you connect with people from there, it really works. I'm 100%, I'm approve of it.
Yeah,
100%.
that's true. I mean, I think with astrocartography, I remember, I think when Carol was teaching, Carol Taylor, she was teaching, and then she was saying that like you don't need to be somewhere. It doesn't mean that you move. Sometimes you travel in your just mind, with your soul, etc., and you feel that connection. I mean,
Yeah.
not you don't need to be physically there, but it still is part of you. So I think maybe that's kind of effect that you have with Colorado.
I plan to visit one day, but so far I don't need to. Like it already gave me a benefits, right? Because that's my midheaven line. Midheaven and sun. That's why.
Okay, that is interesting. Wow.
Yeah.
Yes.
I
When
know.
you
I
think, I
love
feel I need
astrology. You
to
have to
look at
love
mine.
astrology. Right?
Sorry?
Sorry, what did you say, Alison? I'm
I
sorry.
just said I need to look at mine again. I'm in a bit of a shame about Jupiter in the Atlantic Ocean because I'm definitely not going there, but yeah.
Well, you can activate it. Like if it goes through something, you can have pictures of Atlantic Ocean on your wall
I guess I could.
or
Yeah.
something, or just having a name, Atlantic Ocean somewhere. You can look at
Yeah.
every day.
Yeah, I guess that
It
could happen. Yes. Well, I might consider that actually. Yeah.
yeah.
Bring
Have
some
a
of
mug,
that.
drinking water or something from there with the Atlantic Ocean on it,
Yeah.
so that
Yeah.
you feel the ocean and with the water and everything. I don't know.
Oh, that's a good one. You can make your own mug. It says Atlantic Ocean on it, and there you go. You know how you can put everything on the mugs these days, right?
Yeah, that is true.
Exactly.
Yes.
Yeah, exactly.
It's a thought. I mean, definitely doing something to try and activate it is a thought. I'm not sure about the mug, to be honest, but anyway.
Mug
Yeah.
didn't pass.
No, no, but the idea of just sort of looking at ways in which you could kind of bring it into your life, the Atlantic Ocean, not too literally, but yeah, it's
I know.
interesting. Yeah, I think
Yeah,
so.
it's fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Wow.
Gosh,
Yeah,
I can't believe how quickly time's passed. So what else? So where are you going in the future with it? Jasmina, have you got?
Oh yeah, I don't have a definite plan because I had to have the freedom to wiggle. But
Sure.
I definitely, I'm very excited about UX. So I'm going to the United Astrology Conference in Chicago. So
Oh,
whoever
wow.
is going, I'm going to be there. And I'm a volunteer. So they
Okay.
have me as a volunteer. So I'm helping with social media. So I'm going to be part of the organization, which I kind of like to be a part of it, not just like a
Yeah, it's a good idea. Well done, you.
yeah. So that's one thing. Because I want to be part of the community one way or another. So I'm just exploring the things. I'm happy and I'm honored that ISAR, the International Society for Astrological Research, had me last year to do a lecture for them. It was like a first lecture for some institutions. So I was like so excited. And then this year I'm going to be on the panel with them. They have like a new thing. They have each month one topic and three astrologers on a panel. So I'm going to be a panelist for February. The topic is Aries point. So they have it like first Sunday of the month. It's all it's like the three panelists and the host, and then each other Sunday during the month, each of the panelists has their own lecture. And I'm at the end, and I have a lecture in Croatian because this is international. So I'm going to do the lecture in Croatian. They asked me to do it, which I don't even know how I'm going to do, to be honest, because all my lingo is in English. But it's good to stretch my mind and to go outside of the box, because I do have some clients that are Croatian speaking, of course, but this is like a giving, you know, so this is going to be interesting to see. I have to talk about Aries point in Croatia, but I'm gonna use the dial because I had some kind of knowledge about using the dial, not the wheel, and see what activates and how. So that's going to be interesting. I'm very excited about that. What else is happening? Yeah. I'm finishing my studies. I'm doing some. I'm going to do the consultation skills and ethics skills through ISAR as well. So I want to get those certificates, just so I have them. So I know that I'm consulting in a good way, and just to upgrade myself. I'm still upgrading myself, and one way or another, and being part of the community. I am very sad that I couldn't apply for Astrological Association this year. It was just too much because I'm traveling already in Chicago and stuff, and I couldn't. But next year, so 2027 goal is to come to England to Astrological Association. So that's my kind of goal. I want to be more in the conferences, exploring topics, doing some lectures and stuff like that.
Just putting yourself out there. It sounds amazing. Wow. Yes. Good for you.
Yeah, this year is the year Uranus is going to be on my moon, Mercury on the solar return, 1 minute apart. Uranus is definitely, so for the solar return, and my progressed Uranus went direct this year, and my direct Uranus is on the IC-MC, so it's on the IC opposing my MC. So like I'm very Uranian this year, so wherever it takes me, Uranus can be that, this and that, I don't know, but I'm embracing the change, I'm embracing the move, I'm embracing the, you know, thank God I have it in my chart, like I'm very mutable, so I can take Uranus's transits more easier, maybe. And we'll see.
Absolutely.
You never know with Uranus.
And it's coming to Gemini. I mean, you know, this is your time. Yeah.
Don't forget to breathe. That's my only motto for myself. Don't forget to breathe.
Yeah, exactly. After I think Saturn and Neptune, it's like even it's Uranus is still there. It's like out.
When Uranus was in Gemini just last summer for a brief, I felt it was like a Mercury retrograde on steroids already for me. So I'm like,
wow.
So many things happened. Oh my God, like it was so many unexpected things. Like I don't know. So I'm really, I was happy to be back to Taurus so I can finally get my so I can prepare better, because if this is how it's going to be a wild ride. So, but I'm happy to be part of something larger than me, larger than light, something that helps people, something that I think we should all, as humanity, strive, go back to connected with nature, with the cycles, with the universe, and not be so stuck in some human invented things, and just connect more with each other and with nature. And astrology is a great tool to do so. So that's
Wow,
that's
great.
my goal.
Wow, that's a fantastic kind of note to maybe conclude on, unless there's anything else you want to tell us. That's amazing, I think.
No, I'm so grateful for you guys for doing this, for giving everybody a space to speak up. And I love the Sky Whisperers, such a beautiful name. I really
Teri's idea.
Yeah, I'm really grateful and thankful. I can see the Pisces moon there. Thank you for everything that you're doing. Thank you for this, and that's it. I don't have nothing to add. I'm just grateful.
We thank you for making the time, and we know that in your place, I mean, it's quite early on a
morning
Sunday
coffee
morning.
chat.
Yeah, you say morning coffee chat. What can be better than that?
What can be better than that? Come on, you're doing me a favor.
Yeah, thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Yeah,
and,
thank you.
We will be in touch in any case, all the way,
Yes.
this way or that way. I mean, like this, and we will continue following you online.
It's been super nice to talk to you, and it's so nice to get to know you. Thank you so much.
Thank you, ladies.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.